Hi guys, yo, welcome back, and yeah, it's me, Lace. I'm back. Anyway, yeah, we just got the new banner release and also the new event. Before I talk about the banner and every unit included in it, I just want to discuss a few little changes that they actually did in this patch. And the first one is actually the buff to not Gato, it's actually the buff to the GP02. Alright, the thing is like when you see Gato's ability now, he has like if he ride the GP02, he got a max range of physical weapon increased by 1. Personally, this is not a buff to Gato. I do think that actually meant nothing for him specifically because, again, his best units are often not GP02. Therefore, Gato is, there's nothing to do with Gato. So it's more like whatever happens with this big guy around here, right? GP02 always have a problem with how it's the ability only have 3 range, and also the atomic bazooka only have 4 range, even though it's like a hit like a truck, this one, and also the bazooka and everything. So here's how it looks now. Okay, so first of all, it doesn't affect his atomic bomb, right? The atomic AoE is still like 4 range with 4 diamond shape, which still the hardest hitting AoE in the game currently. Yeah, despite his low attack, it still like hits like a truck. So yeah, this is still a very good AoE, even though he can only use it once. But yeah, whatever, right? So the second one, yeah, this is the best thing about it. The Beam Cyber EX actually got a boost by 1 range. Again, this is not only for um, range or melee weapon. It's just like any physical. Okay, so even though it's a physical weapon, it's just, melee weapon is still gonna get range. And then finally, this is, I do think, is the biggest part, which is the bomb. The atomic bomb actually have 4 to 5 range now, which increase its usability by a lot. So the buff is actually for the guy, not for Anavelgato. For Anavelgato, doesn't matter. He's still good without that buff. Okay, so yeah, it's just for this guy. I mean, again, this guy has 2 problem. Okay, the GP02 always has 2 problem. One is the range, and the other one is the power. Okay, the attack power is pretty freaking low for a supporter, but now with this, at least it covers up the firepower. I mean, the firepower, to be honest, it does he kind of like top it up with how big these numbers are. 6-6 is insane, right? And 5-7 is quite okay, but 6-6 is insane, right? With defense down, who cares, like? And then this one is like 7-2. Okay, so yeah, the range good. Now the unit is even better, to be honest. And I do think it's like a very, it's a clunky unit to use, but it's actually, I do think that's a very high, what do you call it, it has high potential. So yeah, that's for the Gato. No, not Gato, it's a GP02 buff. So the other change that they actually did on this banner, and probably in the future banners and events as well, is that when you see, this is so long, sorry. When you see here on the current online lineup, they actually give us a limited time feature limit. Okay, so that part, when you go here, you actually got 10 pull for free. So basically, you gotta get a free 10 pull for every banner event, I guess, from moving forward. Which I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but maybe they think like, because the game's already running for 6 months, so they don't really give us this much anymore, but more like a featured unit. Who knows? You got lucky with it, right? But it doesn't count towards your exchange points, so be careful on that. And now we have talked about that features. Now let's go with the banner units. First of all, we're gonna go with we have like 3 UR actually going with GP02 is actually going for a rerun, and then we have 2 UR ships. One of them is actually going for rerun. The Sinapus and Albion is actually going a rerun for the test type, and the Shimagurau is actually also going for a rerun. But it actually not just cover test type, but also mobile suit Gundam stars memory. So Shima is actually a little bit better than the other one. So yeah, I gotta talk with the ship first, right? because again, it's just very limited now. It's the upcoming tag, but the usage is still very limited. Maybe we're gonna get more units in the near future. To be honest, IBO maybe got some test unit. I mean, to be honest, Barbaros Rex Lupus looks like a test unit, but who knows? Maybe it's an ace. I don't know. Like, also as a test unit like a Banshee, which is a very strong unit now. That's good to have. Amatsu is here. Both the Antalion is here, and then the Zeong is here. Who is this? Oh, Mark II. Mark II is okay. Yeah, I think the most value you can see is between these two. Unicorn Banshee is super strong, and then you have this one and also Kai. But not many actually options unless you're actually going with the Alice. Yeah, Alice is always a good unit. The other one, of course, the GP series. GP series, all of them are test unit. Even 02 is also a test unit, so that's that. And also G-Quarks is also a test unit, also with the Hades unit and exam units. Okay, Comfort is also a test unit, so it's like pretty much, but a lot of them might be not be free. So be careful of that, except with Dantalion. Dantalion T booster is actually so not it's free. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, Destiny is also here. So there's pretty a lot of options actually on the ES SSR category. So it's a pretty solid choice, I think so. And Geminas is a very strong unit, by the way. So now we're gonna go with the units. Okay, I got lucky with my policy today. I actually got lucky, which I really want GP03 because it does have a very actually the animation is pretty standard, but it does have a very unique ability. But first of all, we have to talk about how its deployment. Again, this unit has a major deployment issue because it only can have half movement on the ground, while also in space is full 5 movement. Okay, so on the ground only have 2. It can float on the ground only, but only have 2 movement. Careful with that. 5 movement is good on space. Basically on space is great. Then we can see that the stats is actually in HP focus and also pretty okay on defense. HP is really high. I do think it's almost 400, 140, which is great. And also like 115. So the abilities is actually it does has increased defense and increased HP. HP is pretty low. Increased defense is pretty high. I will say like if this has like 12,000 defense, it's gonna be busted. So yeah. But the base defense quite low. With even with 15%, you only have 11.5. So base defense 10,000. So a little bit need a bit more things on there. But there is there's another thing that's going on with this unit, and that's gonna be the eye field, right? The eye field is like she reduced beam range by 50%. This is unfortunately still lower than the high new Gundam, which weird. But then again. Yeah, because he's a tank. Isn't like Hainu supposed to have 50% and he's gotta be the one with 60%? But I digress. I mean, maybe they think that's gonna be too strong with 60%. But come on, it's just one type. It's a range beam, okay? So, yeah. Then this unit has a new mechanism. The first one, which is the one that the small unit gonna escape. So in a sense, it does have double HP. So for example, like now it's like 130,000. So when it comes with the Starman, it's gonna be like 110. So it's like 260,000 effective HP, to be honest. And actually even more than that, if you actually got overkill, right? If the opponent is overkilling you, you actually tank even more HP. So that's that. However, you can see that this unit is not that great. It looks like more like an SSR kind of, even at limit break 3. I think it makes sense, even though I kind of disappoint, but it kind of makes sense. Like if we use this guy like a full unit, capability is gonna be insane. It's gonna be broken, but yeah. I digress. So yeah, this is still pretty solid. So it's like an extra HP small thing, but come on. If you want a blocker, yeah, the guy is a good blocker. Okay. The attack is pretty low. It's only 9,000. I would expect a UR limited to have at least 9,500 or 10,000 attack. So yeah. Then detonation card. This one is like I'm so disappointed. It's actually just movement ability. It does have a okay range, but because this guy is big, so he actually moves 6 blocks. Okay, so it's with 1, 2, 3, 4. So you actually move 6 blocks. Because again, the size is really the biggest part of this guy. Having this 6 movement is actually quite insane, especially in PvE, because you can actually reposition quite well. Then we have the large beam saber, which is just okay. Micro missile, just okay. The mega beam cannon is actually reducing 35 down on attack. Pretty nice, to be honest, and you can see that even with 4 range, it actually covers quite large area. Again, the half what we double the half block advantage because of the size. So yeah, if it's 5, it's gonna be broken. I do think it's 5 is gonna be broken range because of the size, right? And that's where the mega beam cannon come in. The mega beam cannon actually have a 5 range, which you can see here is insane. It's good range, and it does actually decrease beam weapon, so it does actually want to counter beam more often. And the other one's like just attack down 35%, right? So now we're gonna talk about the Starman. Starman actually nothing important from this guy. It's just like same HP, increase def, nothing else. Like and then this guy's like a beam rifle, which is just mobility down 25%, falling bazooka is like, so it's just like a very standard SSR kind of unit. So it's like you have SP 100 SSR coming out from your unit. Maybe not SP 100 actually, maybe level 90 SSR. But with this mobility, it does actually look like an SP 100 SSR, more like a weaker support kind of thing. Looks like that, but yeah, so basically it's like a 1/2 unit. I won't say not really 1/2, it's 1/3 of a unit. So not really 2 unit, but 1/3. So it's kind of weird thing. So for the tag, it's actually unstoppable. Again, unstoppable buff. Test type and protagonist and ESFs. So again, ESFs, but again, the best pilot for this guy is Kouraki, because now we're gonna talk about Kouraki. Kouraki is, okay, I have to say, it might actually be one of the best, if not the best tank in the game currently, for one weird reason, which I do value my tanks very high. First of all, he has a very insanely high defense with 820. It's just higher than EO Flaming expected, because EO Flaming is not a limited unit, but Kouraki is a limited unit, right? So I'm not sure. Does Judo has an even higher defense? Yeah. So the thing about Kouraki is everything is just normal. Reaction is normal, special normal, and then support is 2, right? And then we're gonna see him like have a durability increased by 25%. Yeah, 25%. Compared to this guy is also 20%. You see that? Yeah, support defense is level 5 for this guy. So it's like 25% defense, right? It's far, and when you compare it like someone like I mean, I'm sorry, but where's Yona? Yeah, Yona is like only 20%, right? See, 20%. The Guza mark. Okay. Sibok Arno is like 20%. See, you see that? Atson is also 20%. So because he's a limited unit, he has a 25%. Okay. And then increased defense by 25% again, compared to the others, like 20% again, because he's limited. So that's why he has such a high stat. And then finally, EX ability, which has support defense +1 and decrease weapon effect by 5%. So this actually gonna make him like a 40% attack down, and that's insane. Again, 35% plus 5%. Even with this, if you are piloting the GP003, the Dendrobium, you're gonna have like you don't even actually need to get it to level 5. You get to level 3 and you only have like any other EX skill with 35 attack down, which is great. And the other ones like EFSF with reduced damage taken by 15%, compared to EO, it's actually the same. So the attack buff is the same. And then both actually have 2 blocks, okay? So the thing is like EO has that he doesn't have is that it has a repair HP. But the thing is, like, Ko doesn't actually need that if he is in the Starman, I mean, in the Niobium, because when the thing explodes and then just, sorry, the Starman just jump out, like, so it's basically almost a 50% heal. Anyway, so what he has is reduced weapon consumption, force guard, and this is why I do think he's the best. He has 2+2 movement. The reason why I do think this is insane good for the tank especially is because this gonna allow you to move farther. It's gonna allow you to catch up with your team easier, and that's the most important part of being a tank. You want to block damage. The save energy might actually be useful because you can actually use this unit to actually counter firepower, and then all of that. The force guard, of course, is always good. 25%. Wait, that's high. Wait, do you have someone with that? Yakuza Makal is like 15. Yeah, Yona is like 20. So yeah, because it's limited, so everything he do is actually pretty busted. I do think it's the best tank in the game currently. Easily the best tank. Maybe if you put Judo in the double Zeta, it's gonna be more tankier tank, the face tank, but this guy's more utility and face tank at the same time. Okay, so that's great. It's great. The best unit for him is actually might not be just Dendrobium, but also not this. I'm sorry, wrong click. So it's actually full armored Gundam Unicorn. So because he's an ESFS tag, yeah, him in this unit is gonna be crazy. Okay. Of course, with the stamina is even crazier, but that's is Kouraki. So if you actually want to pull on this battle, I do think Kouraki has one of the highest value you can have. He's one of the best tank in the game. Straight up best tank in the game. I will say best tank in the game because of this and the availability of EFSS tag. A lot of units are out there. You just can just jump in and do havoc with. I mean, this guy's great, right? Kouraki is the main reason you want a tank. So, then Neue Zeal. This is not limited again. On the surface, like a pretty standard, right? It looks like, it looks like pretty standard attacker. But the problems are always again the 10 cap. For an attacker, 10 cap might not be that problematic. Okay, might not be because your team gonna be revolved around your tank, not your attacker, right? So for attacker, it's not really that matter. You would want to actually clutter around your attacker, and then so this guy's more like a pinpoint, not pinpoint, like the center of your formation should be this guy. Oh yeah, I forgot to see his animation. Very standard. It's a beam. It's the same with the beam, okay? Now this is the crazier part. Actually, his attack, I feel again 50%. Same with whatever happened with but it's still weaker than Hanyu. Okay, Hanyu is like the best I feel out there. And now this is the craziest part, and advantage again EFSF. So you might think that's not much, but the problem with ESF, you can see how many units are out there with this tag, like 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks, 2 of the best unit in the game, like, and then some 1 support, and then the GP series, Bjarlan, all the Unicorn guys, and then these Alice, GP again, and then the full armor Gundam. So in PvP it does actually make sense to actually use this guy, especially if your opponent's using these 2 assholes. Alright, if you're going with these 2 guys, you can murder them. But the problem is the current PvP is not. It's test unit, so you can deploy this guy. So yeah, the main reason of this is more like PvP focus. For the PvE, depending on the stage, again, mostly you're playing with the quote-unquote the protagonist, so you might not actually use him unless you install what do you call it again? The eternal load. So yeah, basically PvP really more PvP focus. And then now we're gonna have it. So again, this is another one that I do feel really interesting because again, here's a large unit. The cone actually hits hard. It's like hits quite hard, like 5,000 power with 13,000. Pretty good. Actually, it hits like a truck, to be honest. Yeah, and again, attackers, you are rarely got any AOE. So this is one of the few. And again, the thing is, he's not limited. So maybe you can get him in the future. Okay. Wired Claw Arm is just okay. Finally, you won't want to use the Mega Cannon EX all the time. I do the glass with the firepower here. What the hell is happening here? 6120. I mean, you're an attacker. Okay, let's go with something like not limited. Okay, so who's not limited? Oh, not limited is Sakusaku. Okay, Sakusaku. You see here, he has like 6-2 as well. Like, but wait, this is support, man. It's not attacker. Who can we compare him? Okay, Zeong. Zeong's limited though. Zeong's limited is like 6-6. And then we have okay, Sazabi's not limited. Okay, let's go with Sazabi. Sazabi is like 6-2. So basically the power is like similar to Sazabi. In the sense, let's see on Hainu. Hainu is how much? Hainu is like oh my god, Hainu is so freaking busted, man. So yeah, let's go back to this guy. So Noya Geo only have like 6-1. It's even slightly lower than Charles Noble's Sazabi. So I don't really know. But again, because this has 5 lanes and the guy is such a big guy, it does cover huge area. Okay, huge area coverage. Again, but 17% increase. Pretty okay. So what do I think about it is pretty good actually. I mean, I won't say it's that great, but pretty standard for any attacker. You would expect this kind of output from an attacker unit. That's all I can say about it, right? And the details are unstoppable again, and test type, and rival mobile armor. Okay. When you think about it, with this 2 unit, you can actually go with the Andrew Wattfeld build, you know, with all the huge ships around. So anyway, next gonna go with Gato. Okay, Gato. Again, Gato always great on range. 860 is insane. But however, it doesn't have a charge step. Personally, I will still play with the other Gato. Then we gonna go with this one. So increase on damage, increase 10, and when piloting, okay, so he is the Hammon Khan of the Xeon. Okay, so when you go with Noya Ziel, it does increase by 15%, up to 15%, including himself, and then also 15% here. So it's got a huge. So if you're using a Xeon team and actually want to counter ESFS, you're gonna have a field day with this guy. Xeon says for currently we don't really have that much, but it does have one of the best development units, and then GP02, and I mean the Sakozaku is pretty good, to be honest. Pilot's pretty good, a good support in general, and then Zeong is an insane unit because of the revive ability, and then the tanks you can go with Gian, maybe Falvalo, and maybe the other guy. So but the problem is like currently there's not many actually Xeon options you can go with. So maybe in the future, again in the future, we're gonna have a lot more units coming from G-Quarks, coming maybe from the 0083, right? Maybe Thunderbolt as well. There are a lot more units coming up for the Xeon tanks. For current, it's not as versatile as Double Zeta. Double Zeta do things like Double Zeta. Neo Xeon is a very strong unit. Like far stronger than Xeon. Like EFSF is the strongest, and UC followed by Neo Xeon currently, and followed by Xeon, and then IUG. So I'm sorry, Titans and IUG is like we need more story in Double Zeta and Zeta, man. So yeah, and then his ability increase range again. I think they're gonna go with this in the future. Increase the range stats, this kind of thing. High speed, very good. Sway level 1. Come on. Give us Sway level 2, man. Sway level 1 not worth it. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's useful, but come on, Sway level 1 really? Like so yeah, I do think it's like not really. He has, I mean, like it has the power of a standard attacker you would want, but not really that great, to be honest. But he has good range stat. Again, this guy is gonna be amazing on another unit that is not his own unit. Okay, so yeah, no Israel is standard. You might actually want to go for this one. Both, I do think it's both. You might actually want to go for the tanks. Though Ko Uraki does actually take the cake as the better unit. Starman is like, come on, it's like basically it's almost 2 Gundams in one. The HP value is insane. That's why I can tell you the HP value is insane on this guy. Kawasaki himself is a very great pilot. Naval Gato, again, the range stat is insane. We do not have a lot of range tackle, okay? That's the main point of this guy. If you want, get it for the pilot. I mean, but he doesn't have two chance step, and that's also a bit of a problem, to be honest. Maybe Kiraimato is the better, but yeah. Uh, it's mostly gonna be Kawasaki. As much as I like Gato, but Kawasaki is the main reason if you want to get something from this. And the other second one, so not really the unit, especially on Noya ZL. It does have interesting AOE, but usage limitation, okay? Uses are very, very limited. Especially this one also have a very limited usage. So yeah, maybe you would want to go with the Kolak and Navelgata overall, just for the pilot, right? But again, you don't have to pull for this one. I'm just saying, I'm just being true. The other ones who you want to go is actually trying to get maybe another Navelgata. The support on Navelgata is insanely good. To support, great range. He's just great, right? So I do think that it's better they actually can get the GP02 than Noya ZL for the pilot. Okay, the pilot and Navigato, personally, I will still go with other units, but again, he has a very, very good range stat. But remember, we're gonna have a SP100 pilot in 1 or 2 weeks, so you have to compare on that, right? Then finally, Noya ZL2. Noya ZL2 is a tank. Again, deployment problem. This one is even worse. Not worth at all. Okay, maybe you can say, yeah, he has this thing, I feel, and then less condition when the movement attack from so it's like God Gundam kind of thing. So, but still, I don't really recommend this one. Barrage is like no debuff. Yeah, I think they don't really want to go with that really much. And then the decreased physical weapon with 25%, and this one is one like beam with 25%. Noisiel, not worth your time. Let's check. Does he have a debuff here? No, it doesn't. Okay. So yeah. All in all, you don't need to pull on this one. I'll say it's like you don't need to pull on this one. It's just a mid banner. It's mid banner. The only reason you want to go, if you want to go, is gonna be Kouraki and also GP02. Like that's the if you want to go. We just had huge strong attackers each patch. In the previous patch, seriously, in Zeong, Hainu, come on. Like, so, yeah. Maybe it's a good thing for a lot of people. I mean, if you don't need to form on this banner. I really think you don't need to actually pull on this banner. So yeah, that's my favorite banner. I'm just mid. I just say it's mid. The only reason you want to go is maybe Kouraki. GB0T has a nice niche, but again, deployment problem. Okay, deployment problem. A tank is very important for a tank to have more than 2 movement, right? So this is gonna be a problem. But when it got destroyed, it actually quite okay. He has a nice movement, but it's like bad stats. Like I'm almost like the attack stats doesn't even exist, man. This guy is just like there to just tank. So yeah, that's my favorite. Not really a must pull banner. Now let's okay banner. Okay. Maybe not as bad as what happened with the Thunderbolt, I guess. Thunderbolt units are pretty good actually, but they are really specific. But these two, they are not specific. So it's better in a way that the pilots just carry the whole thing up, right? Especially Kouraki and the other Navigato, right? Not the attack on Navigato is okay. I mean, he's not limited. You don't really want to go with him. This two is good, right? Then for the test pilot, maybe in the future the test type going to be a lot. I don't see it's going to be more than the H unit going to be the new kind of rising, just like a specialized unit. So I'm not really sure about this one. So yeah, that's all what I have to say. So let me know what you think in the comment below, and then don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you later. Bye bye.